Hello, I'm a small game developer. I recently developed a game called Whisk Away. It's a roguelite baking game, and I wanted to share my progress on how the game's doing, as well as what I did for ads and other statistics. So, first off, I want to show you guys the automatic manage ads managed by, I believe, Roblox AI. And personally, I thought this system was pretty bad. I wouldn't recommend using it. The only reason I used it was to spend all of my ad credit. And there are two different campaigns here. Both of them are for my game. The first one, the Maximize Whisk Away Visits, that one was for the first 10 hours that I started advertising. And I'm being honest, I think the amount of ad credit that I spent versus the amount of plays I got was fine. Um, but I eventually moved on to the Ad Manager Classic for the bulk of my advertising. Secondly, I have this campaign, which was acquiring new users. This was during the last, I believe, last couple days when I wanted to spend all of my ad credit. And if I'm being honest, the ad credit spent versus the amount of plays it got was not very good. As you can see from the statistics, only got 885 plays, and this is like there's only 4 times as much as the first campaign, but it spent a lot more ad credit. So I honestly wouldn't recommend using the automatic Roblox ad manager. I would just use the classic unless you have extra ad credit to spend or you want to spend all your ad credit. And the reason I did this was because when you use the classic Roblox ad system, it might not spend all of your ad credit and it won't continue unless you have enough to spend. So you might have a couple ad credit left over, like you might have an awkward number like 4.5 left over, but you can't start a new campaign unless you have 5, so you would have to buy more ad credit. Alright, now going to the Roblox Classic ads. This is where I did the bulk of my advertising. As you can see, I spent up almost 20 ad credit on the Classic ads, and I did spend 5 USD. And if we do some math, well, we know one ad credit is 285 Robux. So doing the math, that's around 5,500 Robux plus $5 USD, which is honestly not that much. I see a lot of people pumping out like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of Robux into their advertising, and they just don't get much out of it. And if I'm being honest, I think impressions wise, it was fine. You can see, I think the statistic you want to look out for is the CTR, basically the click-through rate, how many people see your ad versus how many people actually click on it. And this Whisk Away campaign that I'm highlighting right here was actually the first one I did after the Roblox ads. And this one actually did the best, even though it spent only 5 ad credit. The other ones didn't have a very good click-through rate. I would say a good click-through rate is maybe like 0.9 and above is a solid click-through rate, especially if you have a small game or you're a small developer. And you can see from the 30 days Robux earned, I did not earn much Robux from the ads. So in general, not really worth it, but that doesn't tell the whole story. So maybe you guys are wondering, well, how's your game doing now? Well, I'm going to reload this page just to get the very fresh statistic. Now, people are playing the game a lot. Actually, it's midnight for me, so 72 players is pretty good for it being super late. And considering I have a pretty small game, I'm very lucky to have this many players, especially after the ads. I stopped running the ads after a week, and maybe a couple days after I stopped running the ads, the game just kind of took off somehow. It first got like 50 players. I think we can check the snapshot. The last 28 days the game has been released. You can see I maybe started. We can check the ad manager to see when I actually started running these ads. I believe. Um, yeah, we can see that I started running the ads on July 24th. So if we go to July 24th when I started running the ads, you can see I only got at like 217 active users. Kept running it for maybe a week, so stopped around here, like July 30th. And you can see like there's a bit of a decline here. This is when the ads kind of stopped. And then there's like this, like a day or two, and it just kind of randomly starts going up, right? And it kind of goes down again. But then there's like this huge spike in the past like few days, which I am truly grateful for. And I don't really know where this came from. This might have been just the Roblox algorithm doing its thing, but in general, I would say that the ad system is not worth it. Um, just from my testing, I did experiment a bit with the day and time, as well as the platforms and the regions. That is up for you to um, kind of experiment with. I wouldn't recommend anything other than catering to what your game wants to cater to. So, since my game has kind of a dragging mechanic to it with your mouse, I wanted to prioritize the computer players so that they could play rather than advertising to a bunch of mobile players and they might not have as much fun. So, only advice is to cater to that. As for regions, I think I only advertise to maybe the US and maybe Europe or North America. And yeah, that's kind of it. The game sits at a pretty solid. I think it's a 89% like dislike ratio, almost 100,000 visits, and I've been pumping out a lot of updates because, well, seeing this spike in players, I don't think anyone would want to just leave their players hanging without any extra content. So I've been kind of updating every single day, trying to give meaningful updates and creating a bunch of badges and things for people to play for. All of these are pretty unique, I believe, and I don't want anything to just be kind of lazy. Like I don't, you can quote unquote win the game, right? But I don't want to make badges that are, oh, win the game 5 times, or oh, get to this certain round. I think that's kind of boring. Of course, I do have badges for those, but it's only one or two for each mode, and all of them are unique. It takes a lot of time to think of these things, and I think more of the story is as long as your game is fun and people enjoy it, it will get players, and hopefully you have a successful game as well.